Hey crafty friends, it's Joy here for Heffy Doodle. Today I have a cute Valentine's Day card, and I'm also going to share how I used a Slimline die on an A2 card. Let's start with our background, and I am using the Love is Everywhere stencil, and I'm just going to do some ink blending in pinks and purples. I'm using Simon Says Stamp Positively Saturated inks in Bubblegum, Lilac, and Heather. I'm using small blender brushes so I can just get into smaller areas because I want to add the colors all over. I'm not doing it in any certain pattern, just a little bit of the color everywhere. I thought would be just a lot of fun. This is an A2 white piece of cardstock. This is Neenah cardstock. And I'm going to come in with this last color. This is the Heather. It's so pretty, and look at the fun hearts on here. You have big hearts and little hearts. You have little dots all over the background, and I love that they're going from the center out. I just think it feels really playful and fun. So let me get my last few little areas, and then we can peel that back, and look at how cute that is. Now, I did decide to use the bubblegum, and I did get a bigger blender brush. I'm going to lightly blend over the whole background to give it a more pink look instead of having just the white background. So I dipped it in the ink and I tapped it off a lot on my work surface, and then I'm just lightly blending it over the whole cardstock, and as you can see, that's changing it really nicely. Now I'm using the Sweet Scalloped Slimline dies in two ways. There's a really cute sentiment that says mwah, like you're giving a kiss, and I have die cut that 3 times from white cardstock. We will ink blend this top one. I like to die cut multiples because you can glue them together and stack them, and that's going to give you a nice chunky dimensional sentiment. You can also do this with foam tape, but something that's small like this would be just kind of a pain to add that much foam tape to it. So I'm using the same 3 colors that we ink blended the background, and I'm just going to lightly overlap them where they meet and do all 3 across this sentiment, and it turned out so cute. And I love how playful this is. I love that it's kind of curvy a little bit. It's just a really cute sentiment. So let's finish with the last color, which is the bubblegum. And again, I'm using a small blender brush for this. I feel like it's just so much easier to get where you need to get. Now let's glue these together. I'm just using some reverse tweezers to hold it in place, and then I can use my liquid glue to adhere this. And I'm going to stack them one on top of another, and then that's going to give us nice dimension. And I tend to do it with 3 layers, but if you really want it thick and chunky, 4 and 5 layers looks really fabulous. So once that's all lined up, then we can color our cute little critter. This is from the Popping By stamp set. This is a cute little mouse, and he's looking down, and so I'm coloring him with my Copic markers in W1, 4, 6, and 7. And I just thought adding a fun little critter is going to just make this card even sweeter. And I feel like he's the one who's blowing a kiss. And yeah, he just turned out so cute. I'm also coloring him a little bit differently than I normally do. I usually add my darker shadow to the top part of the head. But because he was looking down, I thought, let's pretend there's a light source at the top, which is not something I normally do, and I don't think that you have to do that, but that's what I did. So he's lighter on the top, darker on the bottom, and he turned out so cute, and he has the sweetest little face. And I think these W colors, they're kind of a grayish brown, I think is perfect for a sweet little mouse like this. And once I'm done coloring his whole little body there, I'm going to add some pink to his nose, or his ears, excuse me, R20. And then I'm coming back in with the W1 and just adding a little bit of gray at the base of his ear. Now I have the coordinating die and some low tack tape to run through the die cut machine. And then we can get going on our sentiment. I am using the classic sentiments, and it says Happy Valentine's Day. I'm just going to stamp that in black ink on white cardstock. And then I can trim that out with the mini paper trimmer from Heffy Doodle, which is perfect for something like this. You can just line it up and slide that little blade, and you've got a great little sentiment strip. I'm going to cut that shorter. Then I'm going to trim down my card panel just about 1/4 of an inch on all sides. Now here is that strip. This is from the Sweet Scalloped Slimline dies. This is the smallest die in there. I die cut it from white cardstock, and this is how we're going to use it. So because of the scallops, I thought it was so sweet and darling. We're going to lay this across the middle. I popped it up with some foam tape, and then we can just trim the excess off. So you can make your dies go further, even though this is not meant for an A2 card. It absolutely works for an A2 size card. So I'm just trying to get it centered because for some reason I was struggling. But now that I have that centered, we can put the rest of this card together. So let's glue down that sentiment. I'm using some liquid glue for that. I'm going to pop that right in the center, and look at how fun that is against that white strip that we used with a cute little scalloped strip. Then the other sentiment that says Happy Valentine's Day will be popped up with foam tape. And then a little bit of foam tape at the top of the mouse's head because he's going to overlap that second M. And isn't he cute? I'm going to finish this off with some honeybee stamps, Hug Me clay hearts. They're a light pink, which I thought was really pretty against this whole background. Now let's take a look at this. Oh no, sorry, I gotta finish one more thing. A black glaze pen to his nose and his eyes. And I do this at the end so I don't accidentally stick my hand in it because it does take a minute or two to dry. But now let's take a look at the finished card and look at the dimension, all that stenciling, the fun die cuts, and that cute little mouse. This is such a sweet Valentine's Day card. Thank you guys so very much for stopping by and watching. I hope that you enjoyed this project, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.